Why don't you get up and just go get the damn thing? I don't want it. I don't need it. I mean, you will eventually.
Look, I am done with your damn games. What do I have to do to get you out of here? I'll leave when you do what you need to do. What does that mean?
So essentially you're just sitting here telling me how to do reviews on my own channel.
You fuck off with that, man.
Oh, go. If you're gonna start pouting like that, you can go. You know where the door is.
Hey, it's James.
Hey man, what's up?
Have you talked to Brandon lately?
I'll try giving him a call. Who knows, maybe I can get through to him or something.
What are you doing to me? I'm only guiding you where you need to go. And it looks like it's working so far. I knew you'd have to come get it eventually. It was only a matter of time. I'm not coming to get anything. I just think it's a bad idea to have it stashed here in my dad's shed. Baby steps, Brandon. Baby steps. No, you know what? You close that door right now because you and I need to have a talk. I have had it with your cryptic one-liners and your puzzle box mentality. So you need to tell me what the fuck you're doing here right now. Oh, don't take it out on me just because you're mad about a bad movie. What? You heard me. This has nothing to do with a movie. Brandon, it's always about a movie. Everything with you is about movies. You and I both know it. So there's no need to lie. Alright. I'll play your game. This is Rob Zombie's Halloween. Who are you talking to? Shut up. So 11 years ago, Rob Zombie, the pop metal musician and exploitation filmmaker, decided that he was going to remake John Carpenter's classic Halloween. Now, with Rob Zombie making some pretty decent horror movies in my opinion, this could have been a decent idea. The problem started, though, when John Carpenter told Rob Zombie to make Halloween his own. And he did. But as I've always said, every film deserves its just day in court. So I will say some okay things that Rob Zombie's Halloween did before we get into the rest of it. One of my nitpicks that James pointed out with the Halloween review was that I wanted more of Sam Loomis. Well, you definitely get more of Sam Loomis in this, and it was honestly pretty perfectly cast by putting Malcolm McDowell in the role. Malcolm McDowell brings a whole lot of humanity to Sam Loomis, and you really care for him as a character. And the interactions that he and Child Michael have that we actually get to see, which was pretty cool, seeing these two talk to one another was almost fascinating. You actually got to see Loomis care about Michael, and at one point, once you see Michael grown up, Loomis even says that in a weird way, Michael has become his best friend. That is a good-hearted, likable Sam Loomis, and Malcolm McDowell did it perfectly. And the scenes between him and child Michael, for the most part, were actually pretty well written. I liked the back and forth between these characters. And like when Loomis first asks Michael about the killings that he does when he kills his family, Michael like lies about it like a child would. Like Loomis is like trying to get him to talk, and he's like, you don't remember getting a knife, you don't remember being covered in blood, and Michael just goes, no, I didn't do that. That's how a child lies. So these back and forths I like a whole lot. That's it though. Loomis, played by McDowell, and the interactions between him and child Michael are the only enjoyable things here. Aside from McDowell as Loomis, every single character in this movie, you just hate them. They are terrible, horrible humans. I hate them. Nobody speaks like a regular person in this movie. Every bit of dialogue is like the 10-second snippets from Boondock Saints when Rocco says fuck like 17 times. The entire script is like it was written by an angsty 14-year-old that doesn't know how to communicate his emotions correctly. Everyone is a sexual deviant. There's a rape scene in this movie in the asylum that Michael is in and breaks out of, and it goes on forever. Now, this was the unrated version that I watched, so maybe in the theatrical version it was shorter, or maybe it wasn't even done, I don't know, and I've said, like, rape scenes are uncomfortable anyway, but I know that it's just a movie, so while I'm watching it, yes, it's unnerving, but this one, I was just like, okay, come on, are we done yet? Wrap it up. Yes, it's horrible that this is happening to this woman, but I already know what's going to happen by the end of this scene because these two dumbass security guards bring this woman into Michael's cell. So that is one point that goes to show that not only is every character in this movie infuriatingly awful, they're just stupid. Not even Laurie Strode, the final girl, arguably the top final girl of slasher movies, since Halloween is kind of what sparked the slasher film craze of the 80s, she was kind of at the top. And they even made Laurie Strode just ball-gratingly irritating. In the first scene that she's in, just to annoy her mom, she finger fucks a bagel and makes moaning noises. Like, that's funny. Like, that's supposed to make me go, you know what? I relate to her. I get it. We're on the same page. No, I have an IQ that's above double digits. So that just makes me watching this go, I don't like her. Why am I supposed to root for her? You gotta give me more than that. But they never do. The main character of this movie is just as unlikable as every other character here. And you know right from the get-go how unlikable everybody's going to be, because the first sounds that you hear in this movie is child Michael's family screaming at each other while his father throws rape threats at his wife. Who, of course, is played by Sheri Moon Zombie, because nepotism! Speaking of child Michael's family, in the original version, the killing of the Myers family was this one-shot take that lasted maybe 5 minutes. And it set up that Michael was just taken over by evil that this small child would just snap and kill his whole family. Rob Zombie decided, though, that we needed 40 minutes of a 2-hour movie dedicated to his family. And we know right from like the first 30 seconds why this child would snap and kill somebody, because I wanted to snap and kill somebody. If the point was to make you understand why child Michael, after 10 years of living in that household, would finally lose his mind and go on a killing spree, if that was the point, you don't need 40 minutes. That is a third of the running time dedicated to this white trash family. Oh, and Michael gets picked on as a kid, so he has to kill the bully. And oh, he has mommy issues, because a killer in a white mask with mommy issues is so original in 2007. These opening 40 minutes just goes to show that Rob Zombie can only make exploitation. That's all he can do. Now, as I said at the beginning, I enjoy a couple of Rob Zombie's movies, like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. I enjoy those movies, and those are exploitation films. To explain what an exploitation film is, it is literally that. It is a film whose sole purpose is to exploit something. Like in the Firefly films, which is House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and his upcoming film, 3 from Hell. These 3 films are simply exploiting violence. It is a family of serial killers and necrophiliacs. And it works in that world that it sets up. That is what you know you are getting into. These are original characters that Rob Zombie created. Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are not original Rob Zombie characters. He essentially took already established characters and jerked off all over them until there was nothing left except the essence of Rob Zombie. That is what John Carpenter should have known when he told Rob Zombie, the exploitation filmmaker, to make it his own. Now, some could argue that when Halloween originally came out, people saw it as exploitive. But not to this degree. Even in 1978, there were much more exploitive movies coming out. So with Rob Zombie making this his own, all we get is a film full of unlikable characters, unlikable white trash redneck unlikable characters, who do nothing but scream and swear at each other while, oh yeah, Michael's going around killing people in almost the exact same ways as the original. Yeah, Rob Zombie definitely made it his own, except for the kills, because not only do you have Bob getting stabbed against the wall and like hanging there as Michael looks at him, you also have Michael putting on the sheet and making himself a ghost. That looks fucking familiar. But then Bob's girlfriend Linda gets strangled. But it's not with the phone cord like it was in the first one, but she was strangled nonetheless. You have characters saying the exact same lines as the original ones did, like a line that Loomis says as he's coming out of a building, and you have Linda saying totally 17,000 times. So Rob Zombie essentially made this movie his own in all the wrong ways. But I can't give it an F, because I know that there's a worse one. There was one that I would much rather not watch. And there's also Malcolm McDowell as a really good Samuel Loomis. So Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween remake gets a D-. I'm getting it just on the cusp of an F. And the only reason it's not jumping that line is because it's not Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So, do you feel better now? What? What is so fucking funny? Very good. But you never answered my question earlier. Who were you talking to? Excuse me? Who were you talking to? What are you talking about? I was talking to... I just did a review. No. You were there. I was doing the review. Like I always do.
Why?
So that people can hear me.
Nobody can hear you, Brandon. You've always been alone.